Right, I'm going live on YouTube now as well. If anyone wants to watch on there, I apologize for the delay and all of that jazz, but we're here. They've started the formation lap. So it was a little bit wang to start there, but we've outwanged the wang. We've outwanged the wang. And all we did was restart the computer. I don't have any lights on, so the lighting might be a little bit off, but it's boiling, so I've decided not to put the lights on, but drink a cup of tea. And I hope you'll understand. Listen, I know I'm an enigma, but it is what it is. So, we're about to line up on the grid. All the flares have been popped, so it's going to be we're pretty much going straight into this one. I'll tell you, obviously, when the lights go out, so that you know. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can pause and all that good stuff. What have we got to talk about real quick within this 30 seconds? Oh, Fernando Alonso starting in the pit lane. He had to change a couple of parts, and they weren't like for like, so he's starting in the pits. Yeah, apparently Max supposedly had quite a big tow from Nico Hülkenberg down the straight, and without that tow, supposedly his lap would have been third. Take from that what you will, but apparently Max towed K-Mag, not intentionally, but Max towed K-Mag a couple of times, and that's why K-Mag's lap times were so good. Yeah, mostly, I haven't even had a look at the tyres because of all this jazz going on. So yeah, everyone's on mediums apart from Perez on the hards in P11, Gasly on softs, Zhou Guanyu on hards and Sargent on hards. Alonso's on softs. Right, the lights are about to go on. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go. They were held for a long time. Pretty even start there from Norris and Max, but no, Max has got the inside line, so he's Gucci. I'm sure K-Mag's going to smash into someone. I don't think Yuki Tsunoda had a good start because Hamilton's ahead of him. And so is Hülkenberg ahead of Tsunoda as well. So Tsunoda must have had a bad start. A little bit of contact there between Lance Stroll and Ocon. Clean start from Max, though. Very, very good. Initially, it looked like Norris had a slightly better start, but in the second phase, Max pulled away. Really, really good start from Max. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure about if Max will win this or not. We're just going to have to see what the race pace is from everyone. And, you know, how the stops pan out and all that. We'll see. Yeah, the Twitch stream usually is quite far behind. Oh, you mean you're watching stream, Shark? Yeah, most of them are like a minute or two. Like, it's a big delay depending on where you're watching. So Perez made his way up into P10. So, you know, he gained a position. This could be a very tactical race, guys, by the way. It could be, and some might label that boring, but I'll tell you this. It could end up being not necessarily much overtaking, but it could be quite a tactical race in terms of managing tyres and pit stops. So we currently got Verstappen obviously winning, Norris right behind him, a second behind him, and the two Ferraris running right in front of each other. Then Piastri is in fifth because of his 3-place grid penalty for impeding K-Mag. Then the two Mercs, then Hulkenberg, Tsunoda, Perez round out the top 10. Yeah, it probably is, because there we go, I can click on it now. I was so distracted with everything going wrong. I didn't actually reset it. There we go. Gasly's on the softs as well, down in 15th. All the cars ahead of him are on mediums and hards. That's a wild strat. Norris holding station there, pretty much just a second behind Verstappen. I'm surprised they put Alonso on the soft tyre when he was starting from the pit lane. I thought he would have put the hards on. So, Alonso did qualify 20th, but Logan Sargent then had a lap time deleted, which put him 20th. But then Alonso started from the pits, hence why he's far back. Both Mercedes are out of DRS now, so Russell is out of DRS of Piastri ahead, and Hamilton's out of DRS of Russell. So already Mercedes struggling to keep up with the pace of the Ferraris and the McLarens, which is unsurprising, really. Yeah, so I think this will be a tactical race. I do think this might be a bit of a slow burner to begin with, as everyone settles in, manages their tyres, and then it's going to be mostly about strategy and deg, I think. No. They're talking about maybe, the possibility down the line of if they wanted to swap the Ferrari drivers around, but it wouldn't make any sense. First of all, I think Charles Leclerc has more pace than Sainz, and Sainz has been helped by the DRS. And secondly, it'd be very difficult to let Sainz pass Charles Leclerc while not compromising him for Piastri behind. It's hard to know. There's a fairly good chance of a safety car around here now with so many gravel traps. There is, but, So we got Norris is now a second and a half behind Verstappen. Verstappen putting in good chances. Is that really the stat? 100% chance of safety car at Imola. If you asked me, and you did, I wouldn't have said 100% chance around here. I would not have said that. Yeah, Tsunoda had a really bad start. Oh, Hamilton wanted to send it down the inside there, but he couldn't really, had nowhere to go. Almost got overtaken by Hulk because of it. And then Norris, like I say, had a pretty decent start. Piastri was thinking about sending it on Carlos Sainz, but not quite. He's doing well, Hulkenberg, this season. Oh, yeah, let's see what crimes Lance Stroll has committed. Yeah, good job, Lance. Why did he just open the steering wheel up like that? Why did he do that? He's such a menace, isn't he? 2-second gap now. Norris to Verstappen. The question is, you know, we don't know the management. Norris might be managing tyres, might be just work to a strategy, or he might just not have the pace. Hard to know at this stage. Well, I mean, you say George is having an average race, but, you know, Lewis is out of DRS of George. So, I mean, it's, you know. Russell's only two odd seconds behind the McLaren of Piastri, but we know that Mercedes don't have the pace of the McLaren and the Ferrari. We already knew that. Yeah, K-Mag's still down in 16th. Yeah, I mean, McLaren are quick. McLaren are quicker than Ferrari. I think on strategy, Ferrari, McLaren could end up 2 and 3 on the podium if they get their strategy right, ahead of both Ferraris, I think. Ooh, Piastri there. That was... Woo. He thought about it, didn't he? He thought about it. Yeah, McLaren have become Merc. You're right. Yeah, sorry. Why is Alonso pitting already? Yeah, so Alonso's gone off the softs onto the hards. It just seems daft. Why not just put him on the hards to begin with? I think they were, yeah, exactly what Kareem was saying. I think they were just hoping for an early safety car. Very weird. Right, Piastri and Sainz is the big fight on the track at the minute. Hamilton's now at 1.6 seconds behind Russell. Either he's managing or he just doesn't have the pace. But as we know, it's quite a hard circuit to overtake here. Supposedly, Albon and Gasly and Bottas now paying. Supposedly, it's the second hardest track to overtake on, next to Monaco. And we're going to Monaco next. Piastri's definitely quicker than Carlos Sainz. There's no doubt about it, but just getting the overtake done is just obviously quite difficult. Yeah, we were talking about this yesterday, the fact that I really like Imola, but apparently I give it a free pass. I just forget that there's actually not that much overtaking on the track because I like the track. Because, oh, is slow moving Albon? Yeah, he's just pitted. It must be an issue there. Yeah, that's a retirement. Or the tire's not on properly. Yeah, tire's not on properly. Oh. Yeah, usually they do tell him to stop out on track, but he's carried on. Well, the wheel. I say tyre, but I mean the wheel. Not the tyre. They often say tyre, and I say tyre, but we mean wheel. I mean, it looks like he's still... It must be on enough. Because he's still going around. Be interesting to see what's happened there. Well, no, you got to remember, Tag, it's done within 2 seconds. So it's... And then the light goes off, they go out, and then sometimes they realise there's been a failure with the gun, or... You know, it's all done within 2 seconds. So there could be any number of reasons why... You know, once the car has gone out, there's obviously a problem, and the driver will feel that there was a problem. Could be a failure on a gun. Could be the nut was cross-threaded. It could be any number of things that weren't detected within that 2 seconds. I'm just watching that. Yeah, I don't know. Weird. It might not even be a tire. It could be a suspension problem that he thinks is a tire. Sometimes that can happen. Front right looked a little bit off, so yeah. Oh, it's a really good fight with Piastri and Sainz, but he just can't get past, even though he's so much quicker as Daniel Ricciardo pits. He's clearly so much quicker. Danny's gone out on the hards, I think. I mean, that's likely what it is. It's likely the gun has basically done the motion, but it hasn't actually tightened the nut. That's usually what it is. They have a spare, yeah, but it depends whether the mechanic realised it didn't work. Do you know what I mean? That spare relies on the mechanic knowing it didn't work and switching to the spare. It seems like whatever happened, we'd have to see the first pit stop again. Either the mechanic has realised, but the car's already gone, or he didn't realise, and it looked like everything was done correctly. We just have to see the replay of it. I mean, I've been thinking that Max was going to get challenged today, but at the minute, it is kind of looking like he's pretty comfortable out there, you know? I don't know. Yuki Tsunoda pits in 11th, or from 11th. Perez hasn't really made up any ground, has he? He's in 9th now, but that's only because Perez ahead of him just pitted, and he is on the hard tyre, but he hasn't made up any ground, has he? If you watch... Ah, okay, I didn't see that, Tilbo. Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? He knew it wasn't on. He knew it wasn't on. This is what happens in these pit stops when it's all about speed, and they have sensors in the gun that will automatically trigger, and then when all of them have triggered, the green light above the driver, well, the light above the driver goes green, and he's off. There's also 2 guys that can cancel the stop or can cancel that light, but they have to get it in time. Oh my god, the front brakes really were on fire. I mean, yeah, as soon as he got going, bloody hell. It really was on fire. As soon as he got going, it put the fire out, but that could have caused, it's hard to know if that's caused damage to the fairings or anything. Right, Hulkenberg is pitted, so Perez is now up to 8th. But just to put this in context, Hamilton is running in 7th. Perez is 10 seconds behind Hamilton in 7th. I mean, he's not had a good stint, has he? At all. They pitted Hulk to get him back out ahead of Tsunoda. Oh, Tsunoda's going to get him, though. Yeah. Yeah, they pitted him there to cover the undercut from Yuki Tsunoda, but it hasn't worked. And Yuki got out ahead of him. I tell you what, Tsunoda's having a good run, isn't he? So is Hulkenberg, but Tsunoda has been really impressive. He's been really impressive. Logan Sargent's in 13th because everyone behind him has stopped. Tsunoda, Hulkenberg, Ricciardo, Gasly, Bottas, Alonso, and Albon have all stopped, which is why Logan Sargent's in 13th. Yeah, I mean, Verstappen's building up a comfortable gap whereby they can decide what they're going to do now with the stops. 4.8 seconds. I honestly thought McLaren were going to have the pace here, but surprisingly, it doesn't look like they're going to, guys. I'm afraid. On the day, I think Max is going to be too quick. The last time across the line, Max did a 20.9 and Norris did a 21.7. Do you know what I mean? Like, race pace of the Red Bull is just still too strong. And it's incredibly frustrating for Piastri because, I mean, let's be honest, he's so much quicker than Carlos Sainz, we just can't get past. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be honest. I did promise you a good race. Well, I don't think I promised you a good race. I said I think it will be a good race. But the same difference is I genuinely thought this would be closer. We're only 16 laps in, so a lot can still happen. But I genuinely thought it would be closer. I thought the McLaren, unless Norris is doing some sort of mad tyre management, I thought it would be a lot closer. We'll see. But my instinct tells me that Max is just too quick. It's time to talk about Imola then, because I love Imola. It's an old school track, and I rave about how much I like it. But if it's a circuit you can't overtake on in these cars, and forget old generation of cars that were smaller, if we judge it on these cars, if it's a circuit that we can't overtake on, then it's no fucking good to us, is it? And do you know what's interesting as well? They've shortened the DRS zone. They've shortened the DRS zone on the straight. So, not only is it hard to overtake, but the one thing that would aid the overtaking, they've made shorter. Oh, plan B for Leclerc. New race engineer, but still same strategies. Well, Perez is on the hard tyres, but he's not really gaining on Hamilton at the minute. So, yeah, not great. The Viaplay commentator, no, why? What happened? Why was he removed? After qualifying, Carlos Sainz was just saying, do you know what, guys? We told you that this wasn't going to put us like on the front of the grid, our upgrades. He said, yeah, it looks big, but he said, we told you to stop, not to overreact. When people are asking, oh, we thought you were going to be closer. And he's like, listen, to be fair to him, he's like, I was telling you, that's not going to be the case. You wouldn't listen.
Apparently you were doing something right, Captain.
Subi, thank you for the 38 months. Well, I suppose, Tom, security is security and all that, isn't it? I suppose if you don't know who the commentator is and he's not got the required badge, you can't take chances, I suppose. Oh, Perez into the gravel, guys. Down at the Ravazza. He's having a good race, Perez. Yeah, Perez just lost 5-6 seconds. Not been a great weekend so far for Sergio. Yeah. Not great. Do you know what? When I look in the Ferrari garage, and I'm sure not all of them are, I look at the Ferrari mechanics and I look at them and go, these guys look Italian. And then I look in the McLaren garage and I look and go, yeah, these guys look British. I don't know, just their demeanors and the way they look. I'm just like, yeah, they look British. So, 19 laps. We're about to head into the 20th lap of 63. Yeah, based on what the Norris is saying over the radio, it does just seem like Norris doesn't quite have the pace of Max, to be honest. Yeah, Max took a chunk of that curve. Bloody hell. He's kind of lucky, really, because that's what Perez did. And when the car landed, it upset him and put him in the wall. But obviously, Max is better. Do you know what I saw, Welly? I saw some Max Verstappen fans on Twitter saying that Max put his car on pole position in the third fastest car. Someone said that. And I'm like, what? Are we mad? You can post it, Tom. You're a sub, but you can post it. And then the thing is, I will say this. I think Max got that pole position. That was a driver's pole position, right? I believe he got that because he put in a good lap as a good driver. But I still think on race pace, that is the fastest car. That is fun. Fuck it up. Yeah, Norris is definitely struggling. I mean, maybe he doesn't get pole without that slipstream. It's hard to say, but I mean, it was definitely a good lap from him. I actually don't know if they won. It was still going on when he was on the driver parade. I don't know who won, to be honest. George Russell comes into the pits. Good pit stop. I mean, for Mercedes, 2.4 is good. Russell comes out in pretty much clean air. Oh no, he's got an Alpine ahead of him, but... yeah, the overtaking's not good, is it? You got Sonoda that's quicker than Sargent, can't bloody get past him. You got Piastri that's quicker than Sainz, can't get past him. The DRS just isn't long enough. They're going to box Norris as well. They're going to box a Ferrari as well. So Norris is pitting. Is it Charles Leclerc or Sainz? Stop and go penalty for Albon for his unsafe release. Just retire the car. He's already a lap down. 2.4 second stop. Oh, no, it was a 10-second penalty, sorry. I thought he said stop and go penalty. So it's a 10-second time penalty for Albon for his unsafe release. So he will pit again, so you'll do it then. Oh, Norris and Perez. Oh, no! Oh! Norris has come out behind Perez. That's terrible news. Oh, that's terrible for Norris. Yeah, that's really bad. Really bad. Did Russell get past Ocon? I think he did. He's behind him as the DRS. Yeah, he got past him easily. Oh dear. Piastri's pitting. Track limits. Black and white flag for Verstappen. Track limits. Where did he get that? Oh, he's right behind him. Oh, do you know what? He's actually got past him really easily. Fair play. He had a really good run through Rivazza 1 and 2. Was right behind him at the straight. Got past him within a lap. That's important for Lando. He needed that. He needed that. I thought he was going to be stuck behind him for laps. That's really, really good. Really good. Oh, wait. So, Max has had the black and white flag for track limits. Which means one more and you'll get a 5-second penalty. Where has Max been going wide? Max has been going wide then numerous times somewhere. Verstappen pits now. Do you know what? It wasn't the crispest stop for Red Bull. 2.6 seconds, which for them is a lifetime. Hmm. Yeah, Piastri gets past Stroll. Good, good, good. See, I actually think this will be pretty good for Piastri because I think, in theory, when Sainz pits, Piastri should be ahead of him. Piastri, has got now like a clear gap between him and Perez. So he's what, 3.6 seconds. So actually, not too sure. Is it going to be a one-stopper? I guess it is. Hmm. 19.9 from Piastri. Piastri's flying. Piastri's been so quick this weekend. His penalty was ruinous, really, because he's been so quick. Taking him from second to fifth on the grid ruined his race. Despite what happens now, it ruined his race because he was stuck behind two Ferraris despite being really quick. Oh, Hamilton's been off. Hamilton's been off. He's been in the gravel. What was that graphic? Hamilton pit lane start. What was that about? Yeah, Hamilton went off into the gravel at Acura Mini Rally. We haven't seen it. We saw the after effects of it, but we didn't actually see it. Yeah, Charles Leclerc will get past Perez easily here. Hamilton just lost, I would say, about 5, 6 seconds. Very similar to what Perez lost. So that's his race ruined as well, because that'll massively affect where he comes out when he pits. So yeah, he's just ruined himself down into Acura Minerale. Boxing Sainz now. Yeah, he will come out behind Magnussen, yeah. Because that 6 seconds is going to cost him massively. Well, maybe not. He lost 6 seconds. So, I don't know. They're going to box Hamilton now anyway, so. Well, again, it wasn't a massively quick stop. 2.7 seconds. I haven't actually seen a replay of Hamilton going off. We just know it happened. We saw the after effects of it. Yeah, so Russell's right behind Carlos Sainz now. And yeah, so Hamilton is now 7 seconds back. Oh, here we go. Here's a replay of Hamilton. Yeah, he just locked a brake. It wasn't a big thing, but the gravel obviously made it a lot worse. So yeah, he's all right. It's not It's not massively affected his race, to be honest. It's affected his fight with his teammate because he's now 7 seconds behind him, but... Ooh, Yuki, go on, lad. Oh, Hulkenberg's just mugged... I'll be honest, Yuki and Hulkenberg just made Sargent look like a mug there. Made him look like a right mug. So, Hamilton has to get past Stroll, and he'll still be in the same net position that he was in behind Russell. So I suppose in that respect, nothing's changed. Because he would have still been behind Russell anyway, because Russell had been out on the fresher tyres getting good laps, so... But here's the kicker. Piastri is ahead of Carlos Sainz. We know that. We saw it happen. We knew it was going to happen when he undercut him in the pits. But he's now behind the other Ferrari, Charles Leclerc. So, yeah. Perez is running in 5th, but we know he has to stop, so... and yeah, do you know what, Welly? You're kind of right in the sense of Merc aren't really going to get much further than where they're at anyway. It's going to be 6th and 7th at best, so it doesn't really affect his race. Yeah, that was important for Carlos Sainz. Well, Perez, to be fair, has been on those tyres for 30 laps. So, you know, let's not forget that. Yes, I know Perez isn't lightning quick, but all of these guys are on fresh rubber and he's been on them for 30 laps. So, of course, he's going to be slower than them. I mean, Perez isn't just going long, he's going long. Like, he's going really long. Yeah, I mean, Perez, that's all Perez is doing, is to say he's just going long, isn't he, and hoping for the best. Is this Russell on Perez? Oh! God. Jesus. From his camera POV, I thought he'd hit him then. It scared me. That was scary. I mean, at this point... keeping Perez out, does it make any sense? He's in 7th, and all the cars ahead of him have stopped, so he's 25 seconds behind those guys. So he's just losing more time every lap. Does it make sense to keep him out? It doesn't to me. Yeah, he would have to do 2 stops. You're right. Yeah, but at the end of the day, all these people that have stopped have to do 30 laps on the hard tyres as well. They stopped on lap 28. It's a 63-lap race. So everyone that's pitted has to also do the same amount of laps on that hard tyre that he's doing now. The difference is, obviously, they're doing it on less fuel. He did it on more fuel. Well, I mean, he wasn't even catching the Mercs when he was behind them, so... Yeah. There's going to be an interesting stat at the end of the race, isn't there? 12 overtakes. Overtakes on Perez. 12. Oh, God. Exciting news, guys. Logan Sargent has finally made his stop. I mean, they're just hoping for a safety car at that point, aren't they? They're hoping for a safety car or something, but yeah. And yeah, I think that's possibly a factor, as you say. It's a factor we don't consider, but I'm sure it would be a factor of sponsors and what have you. If, logic says retire, save the engine, but. That doesn't happen, does it? Karun saying Albon would have wanted to serve his 10-second penalty in this race so it didn't carry across to Monaco. That's not a thing. Is it? Yeah, they didn't show Hamilton getting past Stroll, but I presume he did it on the back straight pretty easily. Since when has that been a thing? It's either a 10-second penalty or it's added to your race time. Unless, did he get a 10-second stop and go penalty? Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, Jesus Christ. Did Lance Stroll just let him past? What the hell was that? No, that was the overtake on Lance Stroll. Why has Lance Stroll just got out of the way like that? Yeah, that was weird from Lance Stroll. Just driving Miss Daisy then, wasn't he? I don't understand what he was doing. Hulkenberg's back up to 12th. His teammate is ahead of him, but his teammate hasn't stopped yet, and Lance Stroll hasn't stopped yet either. Perez hasn't stopped yet either, no, on the Hadz. Yeah, Lando not loving it there, is he? I mean, yeah, I don't know what Perez is doing, to be honest. It's not. I say that. I don't know. That's not his fault. He's following instructions for his team, but I don't know what they're doing with him. It's just weird. All they're doing is hoping for a safety car. They're going to run him really, really long, hope for a safety car, dosh him on softs, GG, no re. Yeah, I mean, 35 lap old hard tires, not exactly what you want, is it? Perez really struggling through Rivata to get the car slowed down. K-Mag hasn't stopped. When K-Mag stops, he'll be, well, I don't know, 16th or something. Wow, Perez really did the tank swapper block there. That was very unnecessary. He did. It's similar to what he did with Russell. He moved over very late. Very late. Perez always fights with Hamilton more than he fights with anyone else. I'm sure that's not true, but that's what it feels like. Hamilton's lost like 3 seconds already behind Perez. That's how much slower Perez is going. Yeah, he went around the outside that time because Perez was defending. What Karun's saying is true. No driver wants to let another one through, but you've got to sometimes pick and choose your fights. And there was actually no point in Perez even fighting that against someone on new tyres, because that one lap where he was fighting, he lost loads of time. And his race is now with other people. But you'd have a lot more overtakes into turn 1 as well if they put the DRS point back down the straight like where it used to be. We haven't really spoken about him much as well, but and then they box him like Jesus Christ. We haven't really spoken about him, but Fernando Alonso down in P16 still. He obviously started from the pit lane. Hamilton is now 9 seconds behind Russell, thanks to his little off and his battle with Checo. He's had a few good races at the start of this season, though, Checo, so we can't be too harsh on him. He has done exactly what the team would have wanted from him. He just hasn't had a good weekend this weekend, for sure. Right, Tsunoda goes ahead of him. Hulkenberg goes ahead of him. Ricciardo goes ahead of him. I wonder if anyone's going to try and do a two-stopper. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. Yeah. I wonder if someone will do a two-stopper. Kevin Magnussen. He's done a race without getting a penalty. Congrats. We can't see the Perez fight. Yuki is 25 seconds behind, yeah. I do think. I'll be very surprised if anything changes here in the running. Norris doesn't have the pace of Verstappen. The Ferraris don't have the pace of the McLaren, so they're not going to get past them. I don't think Piastri's going to get past Leclerc, even if he got right on the back of him. I think Perez will get past Hülkenberg and Tsunoda, but I don't think he'll catch the Mercs. So I don't really think much will change now, if I'm being honest. It has been a bit of a procession, but I kind of thought, if I'm being honest, that the McLarens would have better race pace. I really thought they'd have better race pace. And they don't. And, you know, that was the only real chance we had, wasn't it? But, yeah. It's a shame, really. But guys, don't worry. Next weekend, we've got the best overtaking circuit in Formula One. Monaco. Oh, baby. Yeah, Leclerc is catching Norris, so I think Norris is definitely struggling, but will would he be able to get through? I don't know about all that. Yeah, you're right. Monaco qualifying's where it's at. You're right. But I hate the circuit. Okay, yeah, Norris basically saying, yeah, no, I am pushing. He's just quicker. I can't help it. Even though I don't like Monaco, I'm still going to watch the race because it's what I do. And, I accept my flaws. I accept them. Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc. I mean, a safety car now would certainly put the, wings amongst the pigeons, wouldn't it? It's not the phrase, but, It certainly would put the pigeon feed amongst the pigeons, wouldn't it? So, Norris is now almost, yeah, okay. Charles Leclerc is now within DRS of Norris. Charles Leclerc. Good race from Yuki Tsunoda. Perez has 20 laps to get a gap of 30 seconds to the Mercedes. Okay. Guys, what do we think? Can Sergio Perez catch Lewis Hamilton? 30 seconds he's got to get in 20 laps. Oh, Magnussen lost so much time letting all of those cars through. Fair play. He didn't hold them up, but he lost so much time doing it where he did it. Well, yeah, like Hamilton currently is lapping quicker than his teammate by half a second a lap. Charles, you are fastest car on track. That's actually the accent of Xavi, and he's not even his race engineer anymore. It's Brian. Was it Brian or Ryan? Yeah, Brian Botsy. He didn't. It wasn't his choice. It was the team's choice for whatever reason. Xavi's moved to somewhere else within Ferrari. It was a mutual decision between Xavi and the team, so who knows, whatever reason. It wasn't Charles' choice. Hey, Fernando Alonso's just on the fastest lap, guys, on a 19.8. Go on, Alonso. Alonso is currently in 19th place. The question is, can he cast Logan Sargent for 18th? Stroll overtook Ricciardo. Did he? Oh, he bloody did, you're right. We didn't see that, but Lance Stroll has got past Danny Rick. Lance Stroll was on much fresher tyres, though. Much fresher tyres. I mean, Lance could catch Hulk. Doesn't happen very often, but Lance has been better than Fernando Alonso this weekend. But I don't think that's because because Lance Stroll has been good. It's just because Fernando Alonso has had a rare off weekend. Like, he has, hasn't he? Alonso's just had a very rare off weekend. Yeah, there was. To be honest, we've not spoke of that, but there was suggestion that there was going to be rain on Sunday, aka today for the race, but no, obviously no rain, no sign of it. So that's either good or bad, depending on how you look at it. Oh, here's Stroll on Hulkenberg. He's right on his gearbox. Well, yeah, I tell you what's happened there, Daz. They've lied to you. Well, they've pulled that figure from the fact that there's been a safety car in all of the races. Apparently. It's not just apparently there's been a safety car in however many, you know, let's say the last 10 years there's been a safety car in every race, let's say. So therefore they've said there's a 100% chance of it. I don't know the actual stats of the safety car. I'd have to go back and look, but well, no, there's been loads of races here. You're talking about 2 races. We used to race here all the time. When did we come back here? 2020, I want to say. So if they're talking about the last 3 years, I'm guessing then they're talking about 2021 and 22, in which there's been a safety car in every race, therefore 100%. I think that must be where they're getting it from. I guess. That would be my guess anyway. Stroll could get Tsunoda. In other news, Perez has gained 7/10 on Lewis Hamilton in the past 4 laps. I'm going to say that's not enough. Yeah, Max was doing a second stint at Nords for his Team Redline this morning. I think Leclerc's just missed the chicane. Yeah, he did. He did. We didn't see it on the camera, but I think Leclerc went over the chicane there. Yeah, he definitely did. Yeah, completely missed it. I just saw it in the background. So Max did a stint last night, and then he did a stint this morning. I will say this. Lewis was like 9.3 seconds behind George, and he's now 5.5? He's been 3 to 6 tenths quicker than George every lap so far. Well, to be fair, if we're being fair though, Welly, if Lewis wouldn't have gone off into the gravel at Aqua Minerale, he wouldn't have been so far behind. So it was his own mistake. So I mean, and then he wouldn't have been behind George in the race if he'd have qualified better. And his qualifying's been abysmal. So I mean, it is what it is, really, isn't it? He's only really got himself to blame for why he was behind George in the first place. Yeah, his qualifying's been fucking terrible, isn't it? So that's ultimately what's ruined him. Oh, go on, Magnussen. Have some of that down you. Yeah, it's quali, which is something he used to be good at, by the way, has just been letting him down massively. And he's starting then from, you know, disadvantaged positions. And so... Yeah, but there's no way Lewis is going to get past in an equally matched car with equal straight line speed without a tyre delta. And the team aren't going to tell George to move out of the way, because why should they? And it's not like if Hamilton was past Russell, he could catch anyone. So even if Hamilton was right up George's gearbox, it's not going to change the position, because like he's not going to be able to get past him. So doesn't really mean anything. He'll be on him, but nothing will change. Charles Leclerc has dropped back off Norris, by the way, by quite a big way. Norris has somehow picked up the pace. So Charles Leclerc missed the chicane and went over it, but he only lost a little bit of time. He was then like 1.5 seconds behind Norris, but now he's sort of 3 seconds back again. So he has lost quite a bit of time there. Yeah. I mean, listen, George Russell has got a bottle or two in him, hasn't he? So George Russell has got a bin in him. Like, in George Russell in a bin. You know what I mean? He's got it in his locker. Does it? Oh, it does, yeah. I always forget to change it. We're in qualifying again, guys. I wish it was qualifying again. Yeah, there you go. I forgot to change it. It's because my fucking stream didn't work. And so I was so obsessed with trying to get that to work when we started that I've forgotten everything. Yay, it's the race, guys. 5, 4, lights out, away we go! And Verstappen's in the gravel, Norris is winning! Lol! Yeah, Norris is actually closing the gap here, guys. Out of nowhere. He's only 4 seconds behind Verstappen now. What's just happened? Presumably Verstappen just chilling. I think Verstappen's just chilling, isn't he? Verstappen's just thinking about Nords. It's possible Max was doing some lapping as well. Max saying his tyres don't work. It's just information, mate. Yep, same from me. He's so ratty, isn't he? Again, right? Let's say in a beautiful scenario, Norris caught Max. He wouldn't get past, would he? There was not on this fucking track. Oh, Magnussen! He's had some nice overtakes, Magnussen, today, to be fair. Why would you stop Lewis again? What's he going to achieve by stopping Lewis again? What would you achieve by doing that? No. I don't think Lewis would want to stop now. He's 3.7 seconds behind George now, with 10 laps to go. I'm not sure he'd want to pit. I don't... Yeah, you get fastest lap, but I don't really see the point personally, but I will see what they do. They're boxing George. No? What? What are you doing? Are we... This doesn't feel like a smart move. Have I missed something? Well, I mean, I suppose they've got nothing to lose because Russell is now 23 seconds behind his teammate. So they believe he'll catch Lewis and they'll get an extra point. So I guess they don't think there's any risk to it. I guess, right? They don't say, well, put George on a fresh set of mediums and he'll blitz it. So George's on a fresh set of mediums, so he will catch Hamilton in 10 laps, you assume, on those fresh tyres. But hold on. That's 2 seconds a lap. He's got to be quicker. Oh, this doesn't seem like George wanted to pit there. That whole conversation we've just heard over the radio there is exactly what we were talking about. So they've told George to pit because his tyres were struggling, and he's like, well, hold on, that's just going to give Lewis 6th. I don't want to do that. And he said, well, will Lewis give me the place back? And his engineer said, no, Lewis isn't going to give you the place back. He's like, well, I don't want to do that. And then he's pitted anyway. Now, George might be able to catch Lewis here. If he doesn't, they've just mugged George Russell off there big time. And also, Norris is now only 2.6 seconds behind Verstappen. 2.6 seconds behind Verstappen now with 8 laps to go. So forget Russell and Hamilton, because really it's an irrelevance, isn't it? But Norris is very, very close to Max. Very close. And let me tell you, Max ain't going to fucking move over. Yeah, I don't know why they retired Albon fucking 8 laps from the end of the race. What's the point in that? So there's no traffic between Verstappen and Norris now. Okay, this race for the last 8 laps could get spicy. Oh, Max not happy with Yuki. He's getting angry now. He's actually under pressure for once. He's under pressure for once here in an actual race without the safety car. 2.1 seconds now. Oh. Oh, what's going to happen here then? What's going to happen here then? Oh! Guys, this is getting interesting. Max is going to give it his all. He ain't going to let Norris get past. And Norris is a pretty clever racer as well. He won't just fucking throw it at him. And that's also true, yeah. By the time he gets there, he might not have the tyres left. So... Joe Guan Yu incident. McLaren fan there, getting a little bit... Wait, who is that? Is that someone we should know? I agree. I think Lando will get close, but not close enough. Hey, at least we've got something exciting at the end of the race, so... Atlanta. Thank you. Leave me alone. Thank you. Oh. Also, just as an extra, Max has already had a black and white flag for track limits. He can't have another off track or he'll get a 5-second penalty. So he has to be careful. He has to be careful. So he's trying to push, but he also has to keep it within the track limits. Yeah, Lando's getting really pushy. He's losing time because he's trying to overdrive a little bit. I mean, honestly, I'm just glad that even though I thought Max had so much pace, I'm just glad that toward the end of the race now, there's actually a car challenging Verstappen legitimately on pace for a win. Even if this doesn't transpire, it's good that at least there is a real fight going on. Max has held the pace now, though. He's holding the pace really well. It was a scrappy lap from Lando. No, I think it was a really scrappy lap. Yeah, Max is holding this. Max is holding this now. I think Max has got it under control, to be honest with you. I think Max has got this under control. Yeah. Max has got it now. Max has actually pulled the gap back out ever so slightly. Do you know what, though? Piastri's actually been the quicker McLaren in parts of this weekend. I wonder what would have transpired if Piastri was actually held on to his second place, do you think? It would have been interesting to see. It would have been interesting. Yeah, Max, I think, has got this covered now. Yeah, Lando's, he used so much of the tyres to get close, and I don't blame him. He's put Max under pressure, but he now doesn't have the remaining grip to sort of finish the job, you know? He's close. He's just not quite close enough. Yeah, I mean, this race ebbed. I know it wasn't a very exciting race, but it ebbed and flowed in terms of the pace. I thought, Red Bull had it covered, but towards the end of the race now, on genuine pace, Lando's there. So that's good. I think it just means that across certain tracks now, I don't want to see Esteban Ocon. Across certain tracks now, there is a chance that we're going to see some good competition. So, oh great, position for 15th. Love that. Show me Lando Norris. Are they retiring Fernando Alonso on lap 61 for? Like, yeah, Lando's only 1.3 behind now. Max has just been told his battery's empty. So he's been using a lot of battery. So he's going to have to go into a slight regen mode now. He's going to have to go into a slight regen mode to regain some of that battery, and he won't be using it at the end of the straight. But there's only going to be one more lap after this. Max has been smashing that battery to stay ahead. Oh, if Norris can get within DRS now, Oh, he made a mistake, though. He's 1.2 now. It's no good. If he can get into DRS, he might have more down the back straight if Max's battery's depleted. But he's not. He's lost ties. Too scruffy. It was too scruffy from Lando. He was overdriving. What do I know? I don't fucking... What the fuck do I know? Oh, he's just got to a second on the final lap. Oh, Lando. Ay, ay, ay. Ugh. He needed one more lap, didn't he? Well, I say he needed one more lap. I mean, he probably needed more than that, but... Yeah, Max has held on there, but hey, we had a bit of an interesting fight at the end, at least. You know, fair play. Fair play. Yeah, perked up the end, didn't it? Oof. I mean, look, I know the race wasn't that exciting, but on pace at the end, the 1-2 was within a second. So what that tells you is that as we start to get into races after Monaco, it could be really close. Could be really close. Fair play. I wonder what going back to the Mercedes thing, George Russell has been mugged off there. George Russell has been absolutely mugged off. What's all that about? Why have they pitted him there? I don't understand. I really don't understand why they've done that. They've gained a point, but they've mugged. George Russell's going to be furious because all he cares about is beating Lewis. Now, I will say this. Russell's pace wasn't great, and he was complaining on the radio that his tyres were really bad. So they've said that they wanted to pit him because they were worried about him getting to the end. So maybe you could use that as a reason, but... Yeah. Lando, I will say this, Lando made a few scruffy mistakes, though. And I think that cost him the chance of getting DRS. That cost him the chance of getting DRS within the last few laps. He just made a couple of scruffy mistakes when it really mattered. He was obviously pushing as much as he could. But yeah, ultimately they didn't have a good first stint, McLaren, did they? That's and Lando's right. They had a lot of time to make up from the beginning stint. But look, I'll go to what I was saying before again. Yes, this race might not have been the most exciting. Lando made it more exciting there at the end. But to me, this shows that the next... Sorry, that was Lando just trying to catch Max. This really shows me that the next few races could be really exciting. Because we've got a real fight on our hands here. We've got a real fight on our hands now. It's not just Red Bull, you know, cantering all the way. And so that's something to look forward to. After Monaco, we've got Canada, Spain, Austria, Silverstone. So, yeah. I'm excited. Well, Charles just wasn't. The Ferraris weren't quite quick enough, were they? Weren't quite quick enough. I enjoyed the end of that race. I'm not, you know, looking forward to Monaco. However, I will look forward more to Monaco if someone other than Max puts it on pole, because we know how hard it is to overtake around there. So, you know, we'll see. We will see. Yeah, the 3-place penalty for Oscar certainly ruined. My biggest takeaway from this whole weekend was just how bad Aston Martin were. Like, Alonso struggled all weekend, and even with that big upgrade, he really, really struggled. Yeah. Anyway, there we go. I enjoyed it. Thank you for joining with me and watching the race. I'll be back. I'll be back for the Formula 1 next weekend, but I will be back tomorrow for more memes on Twitch. I'm going to go head off and enjoy a little bit of sun. Yeah, so have a lovely rest of your weekend, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I will see you on the flip side. Am I going to watch the golf or am I going to play golf? I'm not going to play golf. I might try and catch some of the golf, though. Round 4. Because it's looking pretty spicy. No, I'm not. I haven't played golf since November, current. I am scheduled to go out with the lads in a week's time. I'm sure that'll go particularly well. I've genuinely not played since November. And there's various reasons for that. I've had some back problems and various other issues that have hindered me more recently. So there'll be no golf today. Obviously, I do want to play golf going into the summer, especially as the weather starts getting nicer, but we'll just have to see. We'll have to see. Right. The old muckers. End of the Premier League season as well. How's the... when's the kickoffs? Is it 4 o'clock? Yeah, 4 o'clock, all the kickoffs. I mean, Man City are obviously going to win because they're playing West Ham at home and they'll smash them. So, I mean, that's GG. But, you know, we'll see what happens. Right. I love you all. I will see you tomorrow on Twitch. Thank you very, very much. Bye.